Facebook looks so weird right now. Is it different?
Hi, we are live.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank
So
you.
it is 5 minutes after 5. We are actually going to give it a few minutes to see who jumps on. In the meantime, I'm going to share this on your page, okay, Veronica?
Awesome. I'll go ahead and reshare so we can get double the audience. How about that?
Sounds good. All right. So I just shared it and tagged you. Awesome. So welcome everybody. My name is Jessica Velardi. I am with Better Qualified. I am a credit specialist and I have the lovely, this way, Veronica Guzman. She is with the Freedom Mortgage home team. Welcome, Veronica. How are you?
Good, thank you. How's everything going over there on your end?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're super excited. So we're just jumping on here really, really quick. What we want to do is we want to talk to you guys specifically. You're home. We're all home during a pandemic, and we want to talk a little bit about home buying and the home buying process and how important it is to get everything ready right now while you're sitting home during this pandemic. And prior to, a lot of people have misconceptions about, now is not a good time to buy. Now is not a good time to run my credit. Now is not a good time. But I think it's just the opposite. And I always say, I'm very positive. So I always say perspective is everything. And so, do you want to talk a little bit? I know we were talking behind the scenes. We had a really great conversation. So, if you had any, tips or any, advice for potential home buyers right now, what would you say would be the most important thing that they should know right now?
I would definitely say that now is the best time to take advantage of saving your money. Obviously, that's a lot what a lot of us are doing right now, right? We're not spending on going out in restaurants and things like that. So saving your money is number one, and number doing your credit as best as you can. Now that you have all the time, you want to make sure that your credit's going to be in the best condition possible for when you do go ahead and start the process for your mortgage. Be the difference between you qualifying and also with what your rate is going to be, your interest rate, and also what program we. I think that the best thing that people can do is, even if you don't feel like you're ready now, I think that you should definitely take the time to figure out where you are qualifying wise at this point, and then for where you are when you are ready, maybe a line, then you are already prepared and you know what to do and how to move forward.
So it's interesting that you said that, and that's a huge. I think that's a great point. A lot of times, I, as a credit specialist, will get calls from people that just want to fix their credit with intentions to buy. And then one thing that I always say is, have you talked to a mortgage person? Have you talked to a lender? Because I can go ahead and fix your credit, but I really don't know what the parameters are. I'm not a mortgage person, right? And so I don't know what the parameters are. I don't know exactly what it is that that whole mortgage process entails. And so I always say speak to an expert. And so what does that look like right now, like a pre-approval? Is it a long-winded thing? Do they, is it convoluted? Do they need a lot of paperwork? Or is it just a simple process?
It's pretty simple. I mean, at the beginning, it's always a lot of paperwork, but the more paperwork we gather from the beginning, the less you need down the line. So the beginning, the first thing is we always take your information to run credit, and we all if you're a W-2 employee, your pay stubs for the last 30 days, W-2s for the last 2 years, tax returns for the last 2 years, and we also take a look at your assets, 401k, checking, savings for the last 2 months. That's the basic paperwork that anybody would have to gather in order for the approval process.
That's awesome. And I think that so that it's not that bad. Like half of the stuff I'm thinking as you're saying those things, I'm checking off on my head. Like I have that, I have that, I have that, I have that.
Yeah.
And so I think that, sometimes when they say pre-approval, people kind of get like, what does that mean? So thank you for sharing that. But yeah, those are things that you're probably organizing and filing right now, putting away in a
Yes.
file cabinet or in a shoebox. And so it doesn't hurt. And so do you want to talk a little bit about where rates are right now as far as mortgages and the pros of maybe jumping into home buying right now or actually getting that pre-approval as far as rates are concerned?
So right now, we're definitely at a floor rate and probably historically at this point. So a lot of people are definitely taking advantage of that, and also even refinancing. So people who might have had a really high rate at this point last year are refinancing because they haven't paid that many years into it anyway, and they want to make sure that they're going to be able to save some money monthly.
That's awesome.
Definitely at that floor rate right now. I mean, they're historically low. You definitely have to make sure you take advantage. At really, really good credit and depending on the program, I was shocked myself when I locked somebody at like a 2.75. Like,
Wow, that is unheard of.
I know. It's
Wow.
crazy, right?
Oh my gosh.
hmm
I think when I first bought my house, we were at like a 4 3/4, and we thought we were getting the deal of the century. We ended up refinancing and it's really low, but like we thought we were getting the deal of the century. And that was like, gosh, 15 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that is incredible. So, so what you're saying is now's a good time to get pre-approved, check out mortgage rates. And so I'm actually going to put up a banner that's going to scroll across the bottom. And so Veronica has a landing page. If you need any information on pre-approval, you can actually text the word Veronica, her name, to 71441. So that's the number, 71441, and just text the word Veronica, no caps, no quotation marks, and go ahead and you'll get a link to her landing page. And if you want any more information, all of her info, her email, her phone number, everything is on there. Okay. And so as far as, staying with potential buyers and the pre-approval process, how I can help and how I work with Veronica is I do free credit consultations. And what she mentioned before is now's the time, right? And so if you had no intentions of maybe buying a house or even refinancing or whatever, now's the time to get your ducks in a row, right? Get your ducks in order and work on fixing your credit. One of the things that we say at Better Qualified is the most important number of your life is your credit score. And, without a credit score nowadays, there are some Fortune 500 companies that will run your score before they hire you. Right. And so you need a good credit score for car insurance. Sometimes you need a good credit score to get any type of money. And it's just not just, in the mortgage world, but, why not stop paying, $2,000, $3,000? I don't even know what rent is nowadays. And you're in New York. I mean,
Pretty
rent
up there,
gotta be
just like what
sky
you're
high, right? Probably more than my mortgage. And so now would be the time to get your credit right. And, there's a lot of changes in the credit world, and so you have to be careful. So there was a couple of tips that I wanted to share with you really quickly because I don't want this to be like a 40-minute thing. But a few things that I did want to share is, make sure that you're paying your bills on time. And I know that there's a lot of misinformation. The news is giving you some information. You're reading stuff on social media. The best place to get information, whether or not you can, not pay your credit card or you can not pay your mortgage or whatever it is to call the lender, call the finance company. It's super important because everyone's doing things differently. Okay. I have gotten clients very upset because they had a, $5,000 credit line with whatever bank company or whatever, and now they've lowered that credit limit. What that does is that lowers your score if it messes with your utilization rate, right? And so those are the types of things that I coach clients about. And so if you wanted to get a free credit consultation, and I have a bunch of other tips, but again, I don't want this to be a whole here. So I put the on the bottom in the ticker. You can text a word fix now to that same number, 71441. So you can text a word fix now and fill out the document, the form that's on there, and you can go ahead and put in a time where I can reach you, and I will give you a call back, and we can just set up a time. If you have a credit report, that would be awesome. If you don't, you can contact me or Veronica, and she can run one for you. And so we can work, and we work together as a team so that we can help you get to your dream home. And again, it might not be today, it might not be, obviously not today, but it might not be, in the next month or two or whatever. But again, now's the time to get ready and to, prepare for what's to come. Because when this is all over, and Veronica, correct me if I'm wrong, or, I'm very optimistic. It's one of my strengths. And so, I believe, my opinion, that when this is over and done with, there's going to be a lot of opportunity on the other side of this pandemic. Right. And so, rates are still going to be low. There's going to be I think there's going to be a lot more in the real estate world. There's going to be a lot more inventory. I just think it's a really good time to get ready to make that happen.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of competition out there right now for putting in offers and things like that. You won't find yourself competing as much as maybe when people were able to actually look at places before in person.
Correct. That's awesome. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
All right. So there you have it. I'm going to put Veronica's information back up. 71441 is the number. You can text the word Veronica. If you need my help with credit repair, just text the word fix now. No spaces, no quotation marks, and no caps. All right. So thank you so much, Veronica, for taking the time out of your busy, busy schedule, because I know you're busy, as am I, to jump on here and to share some knowledge with the rest of the world. And we'll be back doing some of these things. I think the next one will be in Spanish. Yes, Veronica?
Yeah, that's right. Everybody definitely look out for that.
For the Spanish-speaking world. And thank you so much. Have an awesome evening, and we will talk soon. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.